It'll tell us. Yeah. Yeah, because we're live now. Daniel
Are we
Kim,
live?
you're here and we're live. But
Wow,
so
we are
you're
live?
what's on your mask? Is that snowman?
Yeah, I think it's, what is it? Let me check real
Santa?
quick. Guys, don't do this outside.
Yeah, you can't take off your mask outside. We're trying to be festive.
Yeah, we're just being festive. Oh, wait, wrong camera. So
That's
these
very
are
good.
little polar bears.
Those are
Wearing,
adorable.
they're like
Those are
really adorable, yeah.
they're fantastic. So
Yeah.
I'm festive and you're festive, but Chloe's not here. We started the stream, we started the show, and Chloe, who's supposed to be helping me get a job, isn't here. And I don't know
Oh,
where
no.
she is.
Where could she
Wait.
be?
Wait,
Wait, what?
Daniel, do you hear that?
No, what do you hear?
Oh, she's here!
I'm here.
It's a miracle.
It's just one thing I need. Okay, we can't afford the rights. We can't afford the rights. We have to stop.
That's the magic chord right there.
Hello.
We really can't afford those rights. Yeah, no, that'd be bad, wouldn't it?
We are not Twitch affiliates yet and cannot afford the rights.
Yet.
Okay. So as is custom on the show, because we have 0 viewers right now,
There's
we are
literally
going
zero.
literally a 0. That is how much clout we all have combined. We're gonna take a festive photo and then we're gonna tweet it. So if nobody's ever tuned into the show before, we'll get into what the heck this is in a second.
This show is post picture. We'll talk about this terrible show that we all hate. But first is picture time.
It's picture time. Everybody, if you have a prop here, I'll hold a bread. And
I'm
Daniel, what are you gonna hold? Daniel, wear your mask.
I gotta wear my mask? Okay, cool.
Bread.
Is that a challah bread?
This is a squishy stress bread that I keep by my desk all the time.
That was my nickname in college.
Stress bread?
Squishy stress bread.
All right, so what should I be doing with the bread? I should just be present, some challah.
Yeah, present.
Oh wait, but I want Mariah in the picture to make sure.
Yeah, you always want Mariah in the picture.
I wish it was a GIF. I also have Giphy. We could do a GIF this time too. Okay, I'm gonna get my bread.
The longer I get to drink eggnog, the better this show is gonna be.
Okay, ready? Everybody ready? It's like Animal Crossing. 1, 2,
2, 3.
We did it. Okay. I will also do a GIF at some point that we can share out. Okay, so while I am tweeting this image, as is customary on the show, PJ, how about you tell the lovely 2 people currently tuned in live? Soon it's going to be like 40 because we're going to tweet this awesome picture.
400,000 people watching us live.
Let's go. Well, what should we do? Should we let's talk about, let's catch up a little bit first, and then we'll get into what this show is once a little bit more people gather here.
Well, then first off, we have this person here who was not here last time.
Yeah,
and this person seems important because they're on this show, which is the most important show on Twitch right now.
Right now,
that is true.
So Daniel, here, I'll give a little intro to Daniel. So I met Daniel through Bit Project, which is an awesome program for students that teaches high school students computer science. And we did an Azure Functions class together. It's super fun. You can check out on my Dev2 a really awesome blog post with all of the projects from the first cohort, which ranged from everything to, oh my goodness, Daniel, help me remember. There was Spotify emotion playlist that someone took a picture of their friend's face and it could determine a playlist for their mood. We had someone wore a tinfoil hat and presented on a news media.
That Spotify one, did it always pick Wham's Wake Me Up Before You Go? Because everyone's always in the mood for that song.
It was stumble out of bed and tumble.
It was 9 to 5 for everybody.
It was 9 to 5 for everyone. That used to be my alarm sound to wake up every morning. But Daniel's awesome, and he does a lot to educate folks. And Daniel, how about you tell the lovely folks at home who you are, what you do, while I post this picture?
That sounds awesome, Chloe. So, hi, my name is Daniel. I am a developer avocado advocate at a company called New Relic. And yeah, my passion is to help developers like PJ and developers all over the world learn how to code because coding is rad. And also, you can get paid doing it, so you don't have to, suffer in this economy. It's great. So yeah, so that's kind of like
me a developer.
Hey, we're all developers at heart, We're all developers. You're a developer. You're a developer. We don't gatekeep in this family. Right. Everyone can be a developer.
We accept everyone.
I'm listening. I'm just cropping this picture because embarrassingly, I noticed that if you can see only 2 people are tuned in, and I don't want to.
You gotta get rid of that now.
Yeah,
we want people to think that this is a very popular show that we hate.
Okay, I don't want to crop out my headdress though. Okay, cool. Wait, you know what? Let's. Be delicate. You know what, y'all? Let's show people only two people are tuned in because then more people will feel bad for us, and then they'll tune in.
I really have enough people feeling bad for me right now. I don't know that I need more pity.
Maybe what will happen, PJ, is someone from Notion will see this tweet and be like, these poor devrel, they need more viewership. And they'll tune in and they'll be like, wow, this is such a great show. What happened on the first episode? And then they'll go look at the first episode and they'll see what happened, which we will recap for you in just a second as soon as I type in this bread emoji.
I'm definitely excited for possible people who want to hire me to see this because they'll be like, we should definitely hire this guy who has 2 people watching him on Twitch when he goes live at primetime.
No, you know what's going to happen? Well, 2 stories here. One is we're going to look back at when we're doing this show next week, and we're going to be wow, 4 people tuned in live. But look, we got 6. We've got 6 right now, so we're good. We're
got
good.
6.
I think it's 6 total.
Is that how it works?
6 for all of us, yeah.
Yay!
Okay, wait, I need to make sure I do the right. So, PJ, correct me if I'm wrong, and I will share.
It's spelled P.
You are our, of course, if folks are just now tuning in, PJ is a high school teacher who teaches what class?
English. I teach AP Lang, and I teach English 4. English 4 just wrapped up Macbeth, and AP Lang just wrapped up a book nobody's ever heard of because it's AP Lang.
You guys, I think I just closed the tab that the tweet was in.
Aw.
No, I didn't. Did I?
I was going to say, doesn't it automatically save the tweets to your drafts?
No, Twitter hates me. Okay.
That's why they gave you that check.
Okay, vamp more. No, I'm just kidding. So
I can do it. Y'all can hire me for vamping skills alone.
It didn't delete. Okay, because I was gonna share my screen with you, PJ, because you teach. Do you have a BA in English?
I do. I have a BA in English and a master's in education, an MED in secondary English education.
Do you know Avenue Q? Are you familiar?
What do you do with a BA in English? Yeah, that was my swan song.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Mine is.
I remember hearing it. Not only that song wasn't too accurate, but one time when I worked at a TGI Fridays through college, and I had the flair and the fun hats and everything. My manager one time was asking all of us, so what are you guys majoring in? And I was like, oh, English. He goes, oh, so it looks like we lost Daniel!
No!
I was getting to the best part of the story where my manager makes fun of me.
He's back. No, he's not back.
Nope, that's your screen.
What the heck?
That's a really good picture, though. He'll be back. When he comes back, we'll let him in because we need Daniel.
He's back. Okay.
We need Daniel because Daniel... Okay. Yeah! Daniel, you can't click the X.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
Computers work sometimes. It's very hard.
So, PJ, you have a BA in English, and I made a strong choice here in the titling of this show to make the air not capitalized.
Okay.
Do you like this? Is this good? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Move forward with this? Okay, good. I like it because it's like this show is weird and the caption is weird. It's like we're very weird. Okay,
That's good.
I'm tweeting it. And now some more people will join. Okay, so if y'all didn't tune in last week or don't even know what the show is, and you're like, why on earth would you want to start a show to inevitably end it?
Or if you're like Daniel and you're wondering if you're ever going to be allowed to talk on this because PJ and Chloe are on it.
Well, if he doesn't leave, we'll be good.
Being educated, it's great. I'm learning about things I've never heard of. It's great.
This is actually, this is a new segment on the show because this is our second show called Previously on The Show Must Go Off the Air, where we reenact in 60 seconds what happened on the last show.
That's right.
Okay.
I remember.
So
I remember when we talked about this in the pre-show when we definitely planned this. This is not ad-libbed, y'all.
It was like, hi, I'm Chloe.
Oh, I'm PJ. Hi.
And we want to get PJ a job as a developer advocate or developer evangelist or developer relations person. It goes by a lot of titles. And my background's really different. So I figured, why not start a show?
She helps me. She says, I know theater and I know performing, and we can do both of these things on Twitch because it's a hub for theater and performing. And she said, we're going to get you a job.
We were like, what if we just made a show of this? So then other people could learn from it, and then they can get jobs in DevRel, and then other really cool people with non-traditional backgrounds can come and hang out with us at conferences in 2035 when things open up again, right?
When maybe you're a barista who wants to learn about machine learning, or maybe you're a poet who wants to learn about JavaScript, or maybe you're a child who's turned on their parents' computer and this just happens to be on, in which case, don't go away, child. We need you to stay here because I need viewers. Honestly,
the show is for anyone. Like, if a pelican wanted to try to get into DevRel, we are here to help. But today is a special episode. Oh, so if you weren't here previously, we set out to do this task, which was a pretty simple task. And we thought it was going to be a lot harder than it actually was. We just Googled, we binged. I work at Microsoft, we binged. No, we Googled. We Googled.
I think it's called Bingle.
Bingled developer relations or developer advocate jobs. And a couple of them popped up. And we were like, okay, let's go through these job descriptions. And we went through one from Airtable and one from Notion. Now, PJ and I were fully expecting to go. So the expectation was we'll go through each bullet point, and for each thing that you don't have the skills in, we'll like make a note of it. And
it was we were looking for a to-do list almost. Like we find this job, we're like,
list.
What? Yeah, it's home improvement. But I'm the home. I'm a 2-3 with good bones.
No Tim Allen, because I think maybe Tim Allen's canceled. But anyway, so we went through these job descriptions, and it turns out that PJ checked off every single one of the boxes with the exception of 4 years of developer relations experience, which was kind of funny because...
Chloe, how many years of developer relations experience do you have?
I got my first job in February or March of 2017. So
you do not qualify for these jobs.
I don't. And it's funny, PJ, because this is a role that I was reached out to for. So I think you're totally qualified for this. And I'm really excited because we were fully expecting to go through this job list and be like, okay, clearly he needs to like learn how to, I don't know, wrangle cats and other
I don't know what kind of wrangling I have to do, but I'll learn. Seth Juarez,
I think you have to herd the cats, not wrangle them. We gently herd the cats in DevRel.
You guide the cats with lasers.
Yeah, no violence. It's just gentle.
Seth Juarez showed up in the chat, Chloe. Job posting description bullets are like more like suggestions. That's accurate.
I think so. So here's the thing, y'all. And this may be news to Daniel, actually. I think I might have told you, PJ, but I used to be a recruiter, like for not even a hot second. I worked at a staffing agency for, I don't know, maybe less than a year. It was not
7 weeks.
But I learned a lot. I hated the job, but I learned a lot. I didn't hate the job, actually. I really, really enjoyed the job. I did not like my coworkers very much. They were not nice people. Shout out to Premier Recruiting in San Francisco.
Name and shame. Damn.
But in my time as a sourcer and recruiter, I learned a lot about how recruiters' brains think. So when I was applying for jobs as a bootcamp grad, for those of you who don't know me, I currently work at Microsoft, graduated from Hackbright in December of 2016. I found myself using a lot of these tips and tricks from my job as a recruiter and sharing them with my cohort mates, because it was just inherent knowledge that I knew that other people didn't, such as I always suggest to my mentees and folks job searching to not apply for jobs and send job applications on weekends or on Mondays, because that's when everyone's doing it. And if you want to get in someone's inbox when it's a little bit more quiet, try applying on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or Thursday. Don't apply on a Friday, though, because that's when recruiters are having happy hour. And it's one of them. Ask me how I know. Yes, shout out to Boot Camp.
Boot Camp grads, absolutely.
Danny. Could not
Danny,
agree more.
Danny's, I'm about to say he's one of my friends now, and he's so cool.
Yay.
He's one of my internet friends.
We love Danny.
Hi, Danny.
We stan. Danny stands.
He's very Danny.
So let me
He's
think.
very Danny.
I got a couple more recruiter tips here before we get into
this is the recruiter tip segment, right?
the recruiter tip segment, because today we're going through PJ's resume and we are going to get it in a nice little spot.
While you give this feedback, which is important for me to listen to, and I will be listening because, hey, companies out there, I can multitask. I'm going to be editing out personal information from my resume so I don't flash my address on screen.
Yes. And that is key to not having people send you weird things in the mail or trying to find you, especially if you're a woman online.
That's right.
But a couple more recruiter tips. Let's see. So I said no applying on Fridays, weekends, Monday, try to do in the middle of the week. Cover letters. Unless you are applying for something, sorry, this is getting distracting, y'all. Unless you're applying for something super, super specific, like for me, it would be if I was applying to like playbill.com or like something very, very relevant to my interests. You don't have to write a super detailed cover letter for each one of these things. Just have Mad Lib. Just have like, hi, here's my cover letter. Fill in company name. I mean, obviously it shouldn't be a template. You should take time to tell your story in it and why you're applying, but don't spend all the craft and energy and time to write a different one for each one. And what we're doing today with PJ is we are going through his resume. We'll probably have another cover letter episode, but those are really the only two things that you need, PJ, to be ready to apply for these things. Because last
cover letter and a resume,
we were like, hey, you check off a majority of these bullet points. And then this episode, we're just basically getting those things ready so you can start like sending them out everywhere. So pretty exciting.
This is the official like dance move for sending out job applications.
I mean, literally, this is what I
feel like this might mean something else. I'm not gonna lie.
Got more. Love the hat, PJ. Yes.
I gotta tell you, this were a combo gift from my sister for last Christmas when I gave you my heart, actually. So it's elf onesie, and you can see Mr. Narwhal is on here.
Hi, buddy.
And does someone need a hug and syrup? And it's elf hat, so it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's very hot because it's Florida, and I'm sweating under the bright lights of my studio in this onesie. So if you see me doing this, don't worry, I'm fine.
Someone asked, did you guys watch the Elf special on Netflix? I didn't know there was one.
Is it the like the movies that made us holiday edition?
I don't know. I'm excited. I need to watch the Dolly Parton holiday Christmas and Holiday Square thing. I hear it is
not to be confused with the Dalai Lama holiday special.
Very different. Hi, Andy. Great question on what's happening. So, quick TLDR. PJ is a high school student, or very
high
old.
School student.
He's a super senior. He's a high
to
school
be fair,
student.
I look like the type of person that might get cast to play a high school student, but he's actually 35.
I played mostly high school students and children on stage, and my dad, famously, Frank Condon, the dude who has a mustache, grew his mustache, PJ. This is a Frank exclusive. Frank Condon grew his famous mustache because he was a high school teacher, and he got stopped in the hall because someone thought he was a student. And he's had a mustache his whole life since then. So high school.
That's amazing.
Mustaches. But sorry, Andy, I got distracted. This is a show where we're trying to get PJ. So this is PJ. Right over here. And he is a high school teacher. I almost said student again. And he's been teaching himself how to program with myself and my coworker, Brandon Minnick. Does an awesome stream every weekend. We built Shania bot together.
That's right.
The best Twitter bot. Andy, Andy knows Twitter. Obviously. Andy either works
Are you aware of Twitter?
But Shania Bot, if you're not following it, we should just share it. PJ, share Shania.
I can do it. Hold on.
Share it. So if you're not familiar, you may know our work from previously, Shania Bot, which we're adding some festive features, y'all. Tune in because Shania is going to get festive. But yeah, the whole point of the show is to get rid of the show. So we don't want to do this show anymore. We hate this show. And we don't want to do it anymore. And the point is to get PJ a job so we don't have to do it anymore. And then we can either have someone else take over the show or we help someone else get a job. We don't know. We just want the show
This time next year, I could be at your company drinking eggnog, wearing elf onesies, and we could be having a grand old time. If only we could get this stupid show off the air.
Ooh, and I'm going to share my screen here. Oh,
that's right.
Some wine. That looks good, Jen.
It does look delicious.
Shania Bot. So to give you a little sample of PJ's previous work. So PJ's been building an awesome website with Brandon. It's your favorite poem thing.
Your new favorite poem?
But that doesn't matter because his most important thing he's built is Shania Bot, which is his life's work.
Totally accurate.
Because he built it with me. And this is a Twitter bot where we learned how to use the Twitter API. Previously, was very triggered by the Twitter API because I had to learn it in my boot camp. And it just tweets, "Let's go, girls," every day at 9, 10 Pacific Standard Time.
That'd be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And we are building
that's when we actually got her to respond to things.
So Shania has some features coming up soon. So we do use it for good as well as a platform to encourage people to vote. But let's go to our tweets and replies here. Shania has some new features coming soon. Here's a sneak peek. Let's go back in the archives of every time.
It's honestly it's gonna be October, I bet, when we got her to respond. Okay. So she lived there. Oh, November 15th. That's more recent than I thought.
Now we may have some folks tuning in who are maybe not familiar with the works of Shania Twain. But if you see this and you don't hear the sound, educate yourself. Anyway,
Daniel, how familiar were you, Daniel, with Shania Twain before Chloe and I started talking about her nonstop?
I've heard her name, but I've never actually heard any of her music. So that is on my to-do list.
Okay, wait. We're not that old. You watch RuPaul's Drag Race, and I am positive there has to have been a Shania Twain lip sync in the entire.
I would bet $20 there has not been a Shania Twain lip sync.
Okay, Fancy by Reba McEntire, but not.
Okay, I love
Reba. Reba's way more popular than Shania.
Wait, you guys love Reba McEntire? Vamp. Hold on, I'll be right back.
We have to vamp. Hold on.
Just vamp.
All right. I'm busy looking up if there's ever been a Shania lip sync on RuPaul, and I will eat this elf hat. I'm an idiot. Man, I Feel Like a Woman is a pretty obvious choice, and yes, it happened in season 10. It happened in season 10, y'all. So that's my bad. I'm a fool. See, also, I had only watched really Drag Race up until like season 7 or 8, and then I got real busy. So yeah, the Man I Feel Like a Woman. I gotta admit, I feel dumb that the very thing that I am using to build Shania Bot. I guess I gotta eat this hat now. The very song I used to build Shania Bot is the one that.
That's pretty yummy. Yeah. So how did you build Shania Bot? Like, how did that all work?
So actually, the way she's working right now is built with some Azure functions. We just told it, hey, connect to this Twitter account. Hey, tweet this at this time. Yeah, I do not usually take my hat off because I'm losing hair. We said, hey, tweet this at this time. And she did it. Like, it was the first time I met Chloe, really. She was like, we should collaborate on something. And we decided to, because I don't want her to know I tried to eat my hat. But yeah, it's Azure function. It's, what's it called? Logic function? Power functions? The serverless for Azure.
Azure Power Apps. Or did we use
Azure
Logic?
Power Apps? Yeah, Azure Logic Apps
Logic
is what we
apps,
use.
yes.
And that built Shania. The functionality that we're adding where she replies to things, that's Node.js with the Twitter API. And what we did is we use the API to gather every time that her name is mentioned. And we snagged that, and then we found a way to have her reply if the tweet contains impressive, some form of the word impress. So we created a little array of a list of words, and we were able to say, hey, search this tweet, compare the tweet with this array. If anything matches, go ahead and reply that don't impress me much.
I apologize, y'all. I'm such a disappointment. I promise I will tweet a photo of me wearing it tomorrow, but I just bought a Reba McEntire shirt from Target, and it's my favorite purchase right now. No, I know that I put it out specifically for this stream, and because I have ADHD, I cannot find it.
That's all good. It's all good.
So what did I miss? Okay, talk about Shania Bot. So I have an idea. Before we get into the fun Extreme Home Makeover Resume Edition on the show, Daniel, you are currently a developer advocate. Is that your title, developer?
No, I think the title is developer and relations engineer, but I prefer wizard or senior wizard. That's like my preferred title. Yeah.
So if you did not tune in, what day is it? Yesterday to Brandon Minnick and I's stream on 8 Bits, I heard one of the funniest stories I've ever heard about Microsoft that involves wizards. Do you want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we had Carmen on the show, and Carmen has been at Microsoft 23 years. He started as pumping gas. And he started in customer support. He's from Jersey. And he started basically almost like a how to succeed in business without really trying. Started in the mailroom, worked his way up kind of thing. But he told this hilarious story because another fun fact, I used to work in customer support as a video game support rep, but I only responded with emails. Now, have either of you ever had to work in customer support? Because dealing with angry customers is not a very fun job.
Even hearing about it is scary.
I have parents. Does that count?
Yeah, sure. So
actually, I love my parents. I'm not gonna lie. My parents are great. I'm sorry.
Someone called. So when I worked in customer support, I was just doing email responses, but this was over the phone at Microsoft. We learned a couple things from this stream. One, that there used to be something called oh my gosh, what was it called? I wish Brandon was in the chat right now. He would be screaming. He's gonna scream when he watches this back. It's called not a disc jockey, but
QJ.
Q jockey. Yes, QJ.
Core Bob got it in your chat.
Q jockey. Yes. Ooh, did you watch the show? That's awesome. # bring back Q jockey. But there used to be someone who would just be in an office room who would just like spin tunes and be like, all right, there's a 5-minute hold time and we're gonna dream job, right? Okay, PJ, we have to bring this job back so you, me, and Brandon can have this job. Where we're just DJing live. Literally, we're starting the hashtag bring back Hugh Jockey because like this job needs to still exist. There's still hold music at Microsoft, right? Like who's doing it? We should be doing it.
Someone just plug into my computer and I'll just be like, and here's that same song again. It's Taking Back Sundays, cute without the E for the 70th time in a row because PJ's having a sad day.
Like, honestly, what a dream job. So anyway, check out that previous episode. But Carmen told this hilarious story about wizards, which was someone called up and was complaining that there were demons and the occult in their Microsoft Windows application because there was a wizard, as in like the wizard that like helps you, like install.
Wait, the installation wizard, which is not a wizard, and so it's a program.
Definitely check out this episode because Carmen tells the story a lot better than I do. You can just Google Carmen 8 Bits Chloe Carmen, probably pop up, or we'll put a link here in a second. I'll grab it.
A link's a good idea.
But he tells this story because he started laughing because like what else do you do when someone tells you that on the phone? But it's such an experience working in customer support. I used to work in video game customer support where gold, which who cares about gold? But these people spend a lot, $20,000 to $30,000 on this game. So I believe that everyone should have to work in customer support at some point in their lives to like empathize with the end user. But Carmen told this great story about how like, you know, I laughed at first, but then they got really upset and I realized, oh, right, this is a customer and I have to be empathetic to this person's needs. And like, not everybody is as competent and highly recommend checking out that episode. But
now 15 years later, I feel like we can make fun of them. You know, like, because like honestly, like
back in the day, weren't there actual animated wizard characters on the screen though? That's true. So
That's
this
the thing.
was separate. Then there was a
Gandalf
avatar.
Gandalf helped me install Audacity the other day.
There was an option with Clippy where it was wizard, but this was like legitimately like the installation wizard, which is like hilarious. I wish it was an installation.
That is awesome.
All right.
So
Now I want like a wizard to
y'all, this is the best show. Like, I don't even have to get a job anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with cool people on stream.
Okay, we're changing the show. You're not going to be a devrel anymore. You're going to be the Q jockey.
I'll be a Q jockey, honestly.
Hashtag bring back Q jockey.
Hey, folks.
So Daniel,
Thanks for calling us. We've got 30 minutes until someone's going to pick up this phone and talk to you.
So Daniel, you just got a job as a devrel.
I did.
And
Congratulations, Daniel, by the way. That's awesome.
yes, so cool. It's your first devrel job.
No, it's my second devrel job. So I was working as a devrel at a small startup in Canada. And I was like, this is not the right fit for me. I am more of a free spirit that needs a bigger wind behind his back. So that's why I moved to another company, and now I'm doing the devrel for that company. Where I teach people code. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Okay, everybody pose one more time. We're going to do another picture, and we're going to tweet it out. What should we do in this one?
I'm using my same prop because someone's going to get the reference eventually.
Are we just copying the same pose? Okay.
Okay, I got it. This show's so weird. So, Daniel.
That's why it has to be canceled.
You probably had to like get your resume. So we should also say Daniel went to UC Davis. Shout out to Davis. Love Davis. Used to do
Love
shout out to
Davis.
Davis Musical Theater Company where I did Annie and West Side Story.
Were you Annie?
I wish, Daniel. Do you
Orphan
know,
number 7.
I was July, who's not even the oldest orphan. I was 16 years old. I drove myself to rehearsal. Old ladies used to come up to me afterwards and be like, "You are so good on the show," and I'd be like sipping my cold brew, just like I drove here.
Chloe, can you turn your lights like off? It's starting to distract people.
Yes, fine. Okay.
Ta-da,
I'll just do the
ta-da,
solid
ta-da.
on.
Solid on's great. That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's great.
But I never played Annie. Once the orphan, never nanny. Shout out to Davis. But you went to UC Davis, and your degree is in computer science?
No, it was not. It was in electrical engineering, which was actually a mistake because I have no interest in electrical engineering. I did not know there was this much math involved in electrical engineering. It's like physics. It's like a physics that like went through a costume change, and everyone thinks it's something, but it's not.
Okay.
So I was, but then like I was too deep into it when I realized that this was the case, and then I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it.
With an electrical, like people who traditionally get an electrical engineering degree, like what is a job title that people are usually trying to go after with that? Is it like
electrical engineer? It's not very fun. It's like electrical engineer. That's the title.
But what's like an example of a product that like when you were deciding to get this major, like you're like, I want to do that, or did you not know what you wanted to do?
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Not going to lie. I just thought that robotics were cool. Like when I was younger, I used to have these robots that just danced around. And I was like, I want to do that someday where I can just design fun robots that dance. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. But I mean, I realized that requires a lot of math and a lot of really, really complex things that I didn't understand. So I was like, maybe that's not the right career for me. I'd rather be sitting on a stream, you know, hanging out with my friends, talking about fun things. I'm like, that's the career for me.
Andy said, I devrel and my major is history. Hello, maths. Good luck with that. I recently discovered, y'all, that I have dyscalculia, which is kind of dyslexia for numbers.
Really?
And I never understood, and so I've discovered a lot of things about myself recently, and this is just a PSA for people to like mental health and checking in with yourself is important. I was diagnosed with ADHD maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and in doing that, was able to get enough mental clarity to be like, wait a second, why is it every time I ever have to like calculate a tip or like like I have extreme anxiety and this is very difficult for me to do simple math. It was so bad when I was a kid. So you have to remember I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD as a kid either, that my 3rd grade teacher gave my mom, Daniel, hopefully you know what a cassette is.
Okay, I'm not that young, okay? That's the students at Bit Project. I still know what cassettes are.
But I hated math. I was terrible at math. I'm still terrible at math. I use a calculator I still use a tip calculator. But my 3rd grade teacher gave my mom this 2-part cassette called Math Rap or something, where it was like 2 times 2 is 4. Like it was just like, and then it had like all these songs like I miss the bus, y'all. I miss, and it was like to get me to love math, but the songs were so bad. I just like maybe it was the songs that triggered my dyscalculia. I don't know.
That's amazing.
But anyway, if you
so the battery, so the numbers for you, it doesn't always compute.
I can do like simple basic math, like I if I really focus on it, but it gives me a lot of anxiety and it's almost like I never really understood, obviously, because I'm not dyslexic, what it's like to be dyslexic until I identified my own dyscalculia. And I was like, oh, this is hard. But I'm doing things to improve it and try to get better with it. But yo, you don't have to be good at math. I work at Microsoft and I'm terrible at math. And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Luckily, there are a lot of awesome algorithms you can build to do math for you.
It'll do the math for you.
This is, let's see. I was diagnosed with ADHD in grade 5, although today both my mom and wife tell me I don't think you actually have ADHD. This is so common, and I am so glad that I have an ADHD coach to help validate that ADHD is real, because it's so true. I think as people with ADHD, we grow up with ADHD and we don't realize or understand that things are a lot more difficult for us than other people. So highly recommend getting an ADHD coach. Has changed my life. I have 2 of them. So
and even the reason that people will like not believe is because like, yeah, but you do well. And what it is you figured out your coping mechanisms and the way you can function to get by enough, and then you're fine. And then it's that people like, that's the whole point of having an ADHD coach is
I'm jealous of Seth.
You know, oh, look at that. Opposite. Yeah.
Terrible at regular math, good at symbolic math. Oh my gosh, give me a piece of your brain.
That's I don't know what symbolic math even is.
So I don't know what that is, and I'm bad at math. But if you ask me right now to sing all of the lyrics of Sweeney Todd from beginning to end, I could do it. So hit me up when you need that.
Speaking of Sweeney Todd, y'all.
Someone said, I always wanted to work at either Blockbuster or Hollywood Video. Yeah,
I love those places so much. I'm very excited. It is in my future, in my plans to move to Oregon, hopefully next year. And very stoked to visit Bend, where the last Blockbuster is.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I miss Blockbuster. I watched every musical from A to Z at my local Blockbuster. That's and that is how I educated myself on musicals. But Daniel, we got on a tangent on wizards and things.
No.
Welcome to a show with 2 people with ADHD. Yeah. It's gonna get off the tracks.
But Daniel, how did you have this degree, obviously that is not in DevRel, because as far as I know, there are no DevRel degrees, which actually is a really interesting point to that tweet that went viral this week about needing a degree to be successful. Anyway, you can check that out on my Twitter. But Daniel, what did you do to kind of like set yourself up for success and get your like resume and your work experience and like everything that you needed to be a DevRel like in order, essentially? So like what kind of things did you do to prepare? Mm-hmm. And let's see if we can steal some of these tips, PJ. I think we can like use.
Yeah. So when I was actually first like heard the word DevRel, I was like, what is this career that I have never heard of, even though there's like a bunch of people at this conference who are DevRels. So I Googled it and I was like, I still didn't understand what it was after even a Google search. So I talked to some of the people at a conference I went to, like, what do you do for a job? And the weird thing was everyone's answer was different. And when I
Okay.
looked at the job descriptions, it was very vague, especially like two years ago when I was like looking for DevRel positions, for entry level DevRel positions. Every position was radically different. So basically, what I concluded was no one knows what they want from a DevRel, especially a smaller company. Like no one knows. And
Oh
if
boy.
you go on
Especially
LinkedIn,
a
yeah,
startup that's never hired a DevRel before, you kind of have to educate them on what a DevRel is almost.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like no one, DevRel's this elusive beast that everyone thinks they know like what it is, but no one actually knows. Everyone's just lying if they say they know what DevRel
And
is.
also, everybody does DevRel differently too.
Exactly.
So, like, it's interesting that you say that, Daniel, because when we looked at this Notion application last week and we were going through it, we kind of realized in going through some of the bullet points, we're like, I don't know if these people know exactly what they want. So, but that's usually the case with anytime that someone's hiring a new DevRel. It's the first time they're hiring a DevRel. Oftentimes they're kind of like casting a wide net out. I think that's what the 4 years thing was.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's so true. I feel like some DevRel descriptions may be very video focused and some may be very documentation writing focused. If people are DevRel in the chat, let us know like what you lean more into in DevRel.
Yeah.
But which ones were you trying to apply for?
So I was desperate at that point. So I was applying to every single DevRel role. So I didn't know what I was doing. But like when I met people like Chloe and other folks that were working in DevRel, what I realized was if you really want to be successful, if you look at all the superstars in DevRel now, like Chloe, I would say you're one of them. You're like very popular. You're like the Regina. Okay, you're not. You're like a very popular. I don't want to call you a mean girl, but you're a very
End of Mean Girls, Regina George, when she's changed and transformed and she gets her
Yeah.
impression out in lacrosse.
I feel like if I were to audition though for like the touring cast when it starts again in like 2035, I'd probably be more of a Caddy or a Karen, like type wise. But I appreciate that you think that I have the vocal range for Regina. That's so sweet.
You're
That's
welcome.
exactly where that compliment was coming from. Daniel is a well-known musical aficionado.
I actually love musicals. But anyways, yeah, that's like what I really realized was you don't want to. So if you want to be a really successful DevRel in this industry, you just got to be yourself. That sounds so corny and cliche, but you got to do what makes you happy. And then you got to be the best at what you do. So if you go and like, if I was describing to you, so there's this developer advocate that makes really, really fun, like energetic videos that are super into musicals. Probably people are gonna probably guess Chloe, right? Like, there's not that many people who do this.
Maybe
But
Cassidy.
you gotta.
Cassidy does a lot of musical stuff too.
Okay, Cassidy's the queen of TikTok, though.
Love
like
her.
her TikToks are legendary. Oh, I love her TikTok.
out
It's just the one where she's like screaming.
Oh my gosh. Do you know how many times I think I was just talking to Emily about this the other day? How many times I just think about Cassidy to that song from Greatest Showman where it's like when she's running in the field and it's like
Oh yeah, that one.
This is real. This is real. And she's like smelling a flower. I think of that every time I get a shitty tweet from a dude. And I always forward them to Cassidy. So shout out to Cassidy. And Emily.
Yeah. So yeah, the reason I bring that up is because in the beginning I was really trying to be like someone else in DevRel. And I was trying to copy what they were doing. And what I realized was while I was like in college, I was teaching my friends how to do a lot of things that I was learning by myself. And I'm like, maybe I really like teaching people. So like that's kind of why I really focused my energies instead of like going after internships and competing against people who are objectively better at lead code than me. I kind of suck at lead code, so I could never be as competitive as my friends to get these like really hard to get internships. So I was like, instead of doing that, let me show prospective employers that, hey, I'm so good at teaching people and teaching potential developers like necessary tools that they need to succeed. So that's kind of what I did. And that's kind of how I made the case that to be a great DevRel is instead of like being really good at solving these obscure old algorithms, I'm like, look at what I can do. I can teach people, like my friends, how to use a particular framework. So that was like Gatsby in my case, because I was super into React and front-end development. And then that's kind of the work experience that I like.
Empathy. Boom. Here. Boom.
I also heard Gatsby, which I've taught that novel a whole lot, so I'm very prepared for that.
Yes.
I know it's a thing for JavaScript. I know.
I think honestly, what you
Danny,
said, Daniel,
that's a secret. Sorry, Danny.
Authenticity.
This is all for show. This is a fake.
It's cardboard.
Love
It's
it.
actually cake. You remember when everything was cake on the internet?
That was amazing.
We don't talk about those times. But I think that's such a good advice, Daniel, like authenticity, because that is something I love about PJ is you are a weird goofball like me. And you know, I love that we like all the same references and stuff. But in addition to that, there's something I was talking about this the other day with my Microsoft student ambassadors that I work with, that when you're teaching a topic, so for example, I was giving this talk on Mario Kart astrology. It's a, I think you can go to aka.ms/Mario Fun, maybe, and check it out. But I was explaining to them, like, the reason that I built this project is I used Mario Kart and cognitive services to make it fun. And the more that you can make educating people fun, the better. And I literally said to them, you know, it's like that high school teacher you have that, like, you really enjoyed learning Shakespeare because they made it cool. And I was literally talking about
You were talking about Yo Teach is what you were talking about.
Yo Teach is actually what I was talking about. But it's so true. Like, I think about teachers I had, instructors that I had. Like, I stopped taking ballet because I did not like my ballet teacher. Like, there is a correlation there, right? And I'm sure a lot of people, like my boyfriend, got into computer science because he had a really, really great computer science teacher at his middle school, high school, whatever that was. So I think what's really cool about PJ is he has to entertain teenagers all day. Like, that's a tough audience. Now we just have to like entertain adults. Like, that's easy. That's easy.
I don't know.
Let me
I
tell
can make
you.
references. I can make references with teenagers that adults aren't gonna get. And part of the reason that the teenagers think I'm cool is because I know what a TikTok is. Like,
heck yeah.
Adults won't care about that.
Wait, can you do a TikTok dance real quick? You know, to show the kids how it's done.
Renegade, 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 renegade. Body, yada, 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 yada. That's all I know.
This is the future of devrel.
Follow my answer. If you are on TikTok, which I'm not, because I want to be on TikTok, but I don't want the app on my phone, so maybe I got to get an iPad or something. But JavaScript Auntie, my manager Jen Looper, whoop whoop, on Twitter does some really great VS Code and TikTok, whatever the TikTok kids are doing out there. Yeah, someone said add that to the job description. I agree.
It's just a GIF of me going body yada 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 yada.
So today we are
47 minutes into the show and we're about to get to the resume.
You know what? We need to set the context. We need to grow the audience. We need to set the context. We need to take all these pictures. But today we're going to be going over PJ's resume and basically giving it a little bit of a makeover. And actually, PJ, I'm going to ask that you make a copy so we can do it before and after, like, you know, like in the Anne Hathaway diaries where they pull over the thing. But this is something that I used to do. I used to, back in the before times, I used to host boot camp office hours at the Microsoft Reactor, which still does events online. You can check it out at Microsoft Reactor. Bing it. I don't know.
Bing it. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Chloe. Stop trying to make fetch happen.
I binged it. I don't know. IDK, bing it. I'm trying to make IDK bing it catch on. I just think it's really cool and funny. But I used to do this thing called Extreme Home Makeover Resume Edition, which makes no sense because it's not a home. But I would have self-taught or bootcamp grad students come to the reactor, and I'd have some brave soul come up on stage with me, and we would do exactly this. We would like go through the resume and be like, okay, let's cut here, let's trim here, let's like rephrase it this way. So we're going to do that for PJ today. Let's see. Ooh, I like this. I don't know who this is. Who's Jeff Casimir?
Jeff Casimir?
Who's that? It reminded me of Jeff Casimir that worked in education. We lost Daniel. He'll be back. He'll be back. And then transitioned over to becoming the executive director at Turing School. Oh yeah, I know who Jeff Casimir is. I
do like that. At first, it was, who's that dude?
Well, I thought it was an actor. I was like, who's Jeff Casimir? It sounds like a name, kind of like one of those like Stubby K or something.
Don't you know Stubby K?
Stubby K. Actually, my dad will watch this and be like, oh yes, Stubby K from Lil Abner in the original cast of Guys and Dolls, because that's the household awesome. I grew up in. Oh no. Okay, there we go.
He's back. He's here. He's gone.
I'm back. my computer just, I'm convinced, hates me. Sometimes my computer's like, you need to leave. And I'm like,
Look, you
"Let's
can
go."
hire me as an actor too, but I really want to be a devrel.
You know, it's funny that you say that. Before we get into this resume, I want to share a very important tweet that I put up the other day. That is all about, I get a lot of questions, y'all, about, because we're on this topic right now of how do you get a job in tech at Microsoft specifically without a degree? And I get a lot of questions about this. So I just decided to squash all of the questions, and I put this, sharing my screen. Tyler Banks. Okay. Without a CS degree, you ask. Well, sir, my degree is in theater performance, so I'm just acting. I don't even touch the computer. I make beep, boop, clicky sounds, and I have fooled you all. And clearly that is how I, a woman with no CS degree, work in tech. And I just tap dance and sing tomorrow. I've versed tomorrow. Very topical from the show today. It's a science and an art and truly exhausting to keep up. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go sing Hard Knock Life to distract my team. But PJ,
right.
if I can, I mean, I'm a really expert Foley artist, and like I'm really good at visual design. So all these jerks on Twitter who are just like, you don't know how to code, they're right. I'm just like, I'm literally making fake code and putting it into a designer. No, you guys, you can get a job in DevRel without it freaking.
That's amazing.
Turns out.
Oh, that is like a amazing skill set. I want to learn from you. How do you like pretend to go beep boop and then do code? That is.
So
watch, hold on, she'll do it for us. Yeah, she'll do it.
So this sounds a little bit like clicking of the keys. So really what I'm doing is my hands are just like this. I'm going like this. And I'm like,
okay.
Should I use a variable here? And should I'm just thinking scaling wise, just thinking long term. And then I stop and I go get a cold brew because that's what most developers do in the office anyway. I'm just mimicking
this
what
all
it
sounds from a business standpoint, this seems like good business.
Yes. Oh, look.
It's not a cold brew, it's a LaCroix. It's not
what?
real tech unless it's not a cold brew, it's a LaCroix. It's real tech here.
Y'all, I have not had a LaCroix in so long. But
you can buy them, right?
Yes, but
it doesn't taste the same.
I started out the freaking quarantine buying, I was going to Target, getting all this LaCroix all the time. And then my lovely boyfriend bought this really great soda stream machine that has better bubbles than LaCroix. And I'm sorry, LaCroix, but I'm making my own LaCroix here. I got the little droplets and put a little mango essence in there. So anyway, I guess like
it's fancy.
Sponsor us? Soda Stream?
Mug.
We're taking sponsors. Sponsor us, Soda Stream.
I can't do LaCroix. It just tastes like, I love that tweet that was like, LaCroix tastes like someone thought about a strawberry while pouring a club soda.
I'm partial.
That's what it tastes like.
Like a banana with a low battery.
Is it cool to share your resume?
Oh, I think it's ready. Yeah, I think it should be good.
There it
is.
So before we get into the resume, let's not take a break. Does anybody need to grab water or anything?
I'm out of eggnog.
Okay, you go grab some nog. I'm going to entertain the folks.
Show them all the degrees and certificates I have.
Yes. Daniel, if you need to grab anything, go for it. This is our
everything in my very giant desk.
Never had nog. Is it good? I have great advice for anybody who's never had nog. Listen to I think there's a recent Doughboys podcast episode where they review eggnog. Personally, I love White Russians. Eggnogs, I'm like, but it's good, I guess. It's very different than like a cocktail with just an egg in it. It's like straight up nog dog. It's nearly 2 a.m. Where are you, Andy? You must be in Europe or something right now.
Is Daniel just getting his drink out of his fake mic?
Yes, he's drinking his mic.
Yes, this is how.
Ooh, we got some nog talk. We're talking nog in the chat, y'all. I think the mouthfeel, the viscosity of the nog is important to people that I found out. Yes, I feel like you got to get the right nog consistency ratio. Like that was the thing. So y'all, life hack. Lovely Thai food place near us sells Thai stews. I didn't they didn't have any heavy cream. I was craving a White Russian because I was listening to this Doughboys podcast where they were reviewing. No, it wasn't a. It was the Sloppy Boys podcast, and they were reviewing it. They're reviewing all of the different cocktails of the American Cocktail Book, or I don't know if that's the same as the American Songbook. It probably has a different name. But they were having White Russians on the show and reviewing them. So I was like, oh, I got to make a White Russian. I'm craving one, and I went to Bevmo. I bought all the ingredients, but they didn't have heavy cream, and I was like, oh. I don't want to like go to the grocery store, so I got a Thai iced tea and use that instead. Ooh, would recommend. Caffeinated,
good.
beautifulness.
Who out there knows about Coquito?
I don't know what that is. Educate us.
Coquito is sometimes called Puerto Rican eggnog.
Okay.
And I'm half Puerto Rican. On my mom's side, I've got 9 aunts and uncles, and they're first generation moved to America. So like Puerto Rico, they're Americans, but also I call them first generation Americans because my grandparents lived on the island, then they moved to New Jersey. But anyway,
very in the Heights. So here for
it's it's super in the Heights. So Coquito is like, it's like sweetened condensed milk,
love,
coconut puree,
love,
rum,
love,
heavy cream. It's a bunch of like, it's basically eggnog, but stick a bunch of coconut in there too. And it is vastly superior to eggnog.
I'm making that yesterday. I need that now.
There's tons of recipes online. It's honestly a bunch of coconut. You need a big blender to actually make it. They also sell at our liquor stores here in Florida are called ABC. You can buy a bottle of Bacardi Coquito. And it's there.
That sounds so yummy.
Yo, that quote was on one of my that was 100% on one of my reviews.
I love that.
And I actually, there was another quote I had from my principal on here a while ago that said, if you ever leave this job, I need you to tell me, so because there's going to be some big shoes to fill.
Well, sorry, y'all. We're stealing him. We're going to take him away.
That's right.
Okay, PJ, let's start this way. So we got your resume up here. Let's do a quick kind of step through real quick. And then let's pick a template in Canva. And Daniel and I will just kind of walk through this. So my first impulse here, I love the quote. I think we're going to put this on your LinkedIn, maybe not your resume. Just like usually don't have those kind of things in there. That's fine. Let's see. The quotes.
I've got quotes all the way down the left. That was the way I organized this. Was you could look on the left and see people who, and obviously all these blank spaces are. I was naming people and who they were and where they worked and stuff. I've got stuff from my Korea boss. I've got stuff from my first job, my current job, but none of this has to do with devrel.
So let's do step number 1, which is the most exciting part. And Daniel, we're going to need your consultancy here because I know myself.
Which we are not paying for.
I'm going to go very quirky on the quirky spectrum. But PJ, let's bring up Canva real quick. And for those of you who don't know about Canva, I learned about it when I was in Hackbright. It's an awesome templating tool that like can just make a night and day difference between your resumes. I was telling PJ yesterday or a couple days ago before the stream that as a recruiter, you're getting a lot of resumes. You're getting a lot of resumes across your table or in your inbox or whatever it may be. And sometimes making that extra effort, like it seems kind of like a low-hanging fruit thing, but making that small extra effort to make your resume stand out and look good is the difference between a recruiter being like, ugh, and And I learned this a lot as an actress with my headshots, that when I had shitty headshots, no one was bringing me back for an audition because when I left the room, all they had to remember me by was this piece of this very poorly printed on a college printer computer paper, a very grainy image of me. But once I paid the big bucks to my buddy Ben Cramp, shout out to best headshot photographer in the Bay Area.
Thanks, Ben.
Once I started getting better quality headshots, got more callbacks. And I think it's the same case with resumes, honestly. Like what your resume is, what is in the room when you're not there, the metaphorical room, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, okay. I'm gonna share your
I stopped
screen.
sharing, and then I started sharing again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Also, like, if I could interject for a
yeah,
second.
go for it.
So a lot of these entry level roles that PJ you're probably applying for get a lot of more applications than more senior roles that Chloe and I probably apply to. So it's more likely that a machine will read your resume before a human. And machines hate when things are out of the ordinary. They just shit on creativity.
Oh my
Not gonna
god.
lie.
Such a
So
nightmare to apply with those auto generating things too. Like none of them work well. Freaking nightmare.
exactly, it is a nightmare, and they really need to get on that. Those startups. Please make a startup where we make that easier.
I
Like
also
I'm trying to
wanna
put this in the void.
I want to just give a shout out to anybody out there applying for jobs without a computer science degree or self-taught or with a non-traditional background. It's really freaking hard. I will tell you, the first job I ever applied for was Fitbit. I wear my Fitbit every day. I was like, I'm so excited. I'm going to apply for my first junior engineering role. I wear my Fitbit every day. And oh my God. And I got a rejection email 3 minutes after I applied. And that is because recruiting software filtered me out. It wasn't a human. Like it was someone
Holy
clearly was just like,
smokes.
we don't, anybody who doesn't have a degree or whatever the thing was. But I will also share, and I encourage anybody watching right now or tuning in or watching this later, if you have this ability at your company and have insight to this. I once had a good friend apply for a role at a previous company I worked for, and she couldn't apply. Any guesses on why?
I know the answer. I've heard this story, so I can't answer.
Okay, Daniel, why do you think my friend couldn't apply for this job?
She was too hot. Like no hot girls are allowed.
Hot.
For
hot
That's
product
true.
market fit.
They distract the startups, right?
She's gonna ruin the
No,
startup.
there's no product market fit. It's the product market fit.
So the reason that I could not, or she could not apply, and remember, I have a theater degree, is because it was a drop down menu for the degree, and the only degrees in there obviously didn't include any arts degrees or anything like that. So like literally, I could not apply for a job at my own company. So if you are able to like unlock these doors for people, people are always asking me, where do we find these like awesome unicorn candidates? I'm like, you're literally not letting them through the front door. So like open the doors more. Open the doors.
Just like they said in Frozen, he's a fixer.
Let it go. Oh, never mind.
It's so funny that you say that because I was thinking, tell the gods to open up the gates for the first. Okay, we can't pay for that.
I think there's a very clear segment of the population who would really appreciate a anti-gatekeeping open up for the first time in forever parody.
Oh, yes. I have one that I wanted to do for a while, PJ, that we should collab on called If I Could Deploy to Beyonce's If I Were a Boy.
If I could deploy.
But I can't say it because Azure is always available and ready to deploy at any times. Go to aka.net. No, I'm just kidding.
Chloe, you're a marketer.
I should just be Chloe Campbell here.
Chloe Campbell. Okay. I don't love these
Remove
colors.
Watermarks. No, just get rid of them for me.
So let's find one that, I mean, it's fine if there's some color in it. Okay, this is cute. This is Chad.
Yeah, I like Chad. I'm feeling Chad.
Okay.
I think you have to sign up for an account.
I will, but I'm going to design first.
Okay.
So.
Chad's good. How about you make an account and we can bookmark this one? That way we can, we'll unshare your screen.
Oh, look at that.
You make an account and then we can bookmark the ones that we like and we can pick one. And Daniel, is it okay if you stay a little longer? Sorry, we talked way too much at the beginning because we're just having
I have nothing else scheduled. I was planning on sitting in my bed quietly after this, so this is great.
Okay, good. We won't go too
I will say, for full disclosure, I can stay on longer. However, I do have my last day of teaching tomorrow.
Yes. Okay. So can we have you for like 15 more minutes, BJ?
Oh, 15's fine. I didn't know if we were going to do another like 30 or 45 or something. But yeah, like I got a soft out at 9:15.
We'll pick the template and then I think Daniel and we won't like edit it on the air, but let's go through. Daniel and I will go through and we'll give some feedback and then we'll come back next week and it'll be like, Ta-da! Okay. So,
Sounds great.
did you make an account? Can I share your
I
screen?
did. No, I have an account. I'm good. So I'm
Okay.
just trying to find a way to not download, but like I want
Edit
to
it?
bookmark
Should
it.
be able go to the dot in the top right, maybe?
Yeah, I've got download, share link, present, and record.
Oh, weird. Okay, I guess we'll just keep this tab open.
Yeah,
Hey,
I don't mind
Canva,
that. That's how.
make
Hey,
favorites.
let's put this on a mug,
Wait, what? You put your resume on a mug?
guys. I'm going to send mugs to people.
PJ.
Oh my gosh, that's a great
actually-
idea.
The best devrel, like you could be like, I know how to order swag. Like you're literally like you. Oh my gosh, wait, this is kind of brilliant. Let's put your resume on a mug, and then give them a link to this episode at this timestamp to understand why, and then they'll learn about the show.
It's only $18 to get a mug.
We're doing this. We're doing
Bro,
this.
you gotta send it to all of the hiring managers to be like,
Yeah.
this
Right.
is how you recruit a freaking devrel.
If you subscribe to PJ or I's channel, the money will go to mugs.
My PayPal is messing around.
We hit up PJ's PayPal. We are going to buy merch.
Oh man,
Hashtag
Dude, I'll-
your jockey merch and
that's right.
the resume on the mug. We love
So
a merch
funny.
moment.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go ahead and just bookmark this page here real quick. Hold on. Okay, that's funny. All right, stop sharing my screen. I'm coming back to StreamYard, and we don't want an infinite loop.
Wait, this is the one? This is the one that we want to
I
put?
really like it. Like it seems clean.
What
It
is that
has a
thing in-
picture.
Can you zoom in a little bit by the head? What is this circle that I'm looking at up on
Oh,
the?
it's just a
Yeah, we're getting
it's
rid of that. That's stupid.
dumb.
Okay.
Look, I can actually hold on. We can actually do this right now. We can change the picture.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting because we're gonna put devrel under your headshot, and you're gonna look so legit.
Link, copy.
Wow, this
style,
is so much more legit than my very boring resume.
detach image. Delete. Okay, I need to change this image. Upload images. Upload media, and everyone's about to see my headshots.
Da-da-da-da.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, let's pick a good one. We want it to be like.
Oh my gosh. You look so different.
I'm
That's before I got a haircut. That's my quarantine hair.
Okay.
Wait, Chloe, do you know anyone who does headshots in the Bay Area? I need
Oh,
I feel like we learned of a man named Ben earlier.
Ben Krantz, Best in the Bay. Also Danielle. Danielle, not to be confused with Daniel. Danielle Leong, who I will share. That is great. But PJ,
Yeah.
I like this pic. It's cute, but it's a little formal, and I feel like you are so fun. Do you have one that is a little, I don't know, not louder, but like any more?
I worry. I mean, I worry about it being. I mean, I've got serving fierceness. Is this in a pineapple shirt?
Wait,
This just makes me look like a weirdo.
That's gonna come up. Oh no, just make it the complete.
That's bad.
No.
Oh, that's a
whole
swipe right.
background.
Yeah. And my resume is literally this.
Yes, perfect.
Get
yeah,
out
not
of
that
here.
pic.
This
That
is
picture kind of makes you look good.
I would die if I saw this. This is hilarious.
Okay, use the image that you had before, but
Let me see. There's.
here, I'm gonna unshare your screen so you are not being judged by the picture of your file.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't mind being judged. Y'all judge me because I'm silly.
Hired. I think put the picture back behind the resume. You're hired.
You're
hired.
eating a plant.
Yes, swipe right is a Tinder thing. It's like you swipe right on someone you don't like. Is that what it is? I never used
No,
Tinder.
you-
Right is no. Wait, which one? I missed out on dating apps by like literally a month.
I met my boyfriend on Hinge, the app meant to be deleted.
And that's what this show is. The show that we're trying to delete.
It is. Oh, Daniel's gone.
There we go. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm
lost
putting it
Daniel.
back on the screen. yes.
Look at this handsome boy.
Oh, that's scary.
Wait, I want to take a picture of this and tweet it. This is so good. I think we should thumbs up, Daniel. Do a thumbs up.
This is it. This is it.
Oh my god. Okay, keep that for now. I need this in the meantime. We're going to change it. Wait, that one's good too.
No, I like all that better. I like this face. Let's go.
This one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm hired. No, still hired.
Definitely.
Both of them. Both
Get
of them.
this 35-year-old balding man.
Oh
God.
my gosh. So funny. Okay, so let's.
I'm an idiot. I'm a huge idiot. Stop sharing my screen. I need to get back to the chat. I can't see the chat, and I'm
You know
nervous about
what?
what everyone's saying.
I think that we can either use a picture that you have or we can do a devrel photo shoot. Like, what if one of the episodes of this show, we just take screenshots and I photo
Come through 45 minutes of
so
screenshots.
Like, I think if that'll be okay, let's say episode 4 or 5, Daniel returns.
I am so down.
And it's called it's like basically one of those challenges from RuPaul's Drag Race, like on the first episode where there's some sort of challenge where there's like a fan or something, and your wife can like have a fan and provide any sort of ambiance that we need. It'll be great. Tune in 3 weeks for that.
I'm so down.
Oh, I like this comment from Andy. One of the episodes of the show that we are totally trying to stop happening. Yeah.
Honestly, we don't want to get to episode 4.
want to.
If someone sends me money, we hate it. The show's stupid.
We put the template. Quick side note, Daniel, to answer your question, local Bay Area photographer, Danielle Leong. She's great. She just tweeted recently about headshot stuff, so check her out. And then also Ben Krantz.
Andy.
Studio. Shout out
Perfect.
for headshots. Maybe you'll even, if you creep this headshot website, there's a young Chloe.
Oh, snap.
Holy shit.
That's a Yelp review. Look at me. That's a redheaded Chloe from back in the day.
Whoa.
That's a headshot.
That is so
Amazing.
cool.
I bet I
You
have
look
more.
so different.
I know. I'm a chameleon, Daniel. I'm a chameleon. But yeah, Ben Krantz and Danielle Leong. Check them out for great headshots.
I will.
I owe Danielle a DM because I need new headshots, or Ben. I need headshots, y'all, because my hair is very different than my current headshots.
Did you guys... honestly, like, it's funny. We set out to, like, do resume stuff this episode. I learned a lot more about authenticity, about what it really takes to be a dev. I've got 2 actual devrels here. My resume, it can just be a picture of me.
Yeah.
It can.
Who cares?
I think this is a solid... Wait, share it again. Share the resume. Man. No, but actually share, and then we'll take a peek. Okay, first of all, beautiful. Make that one bigger. No, I'm just kidding. We learned merch. We're gonna do some merch. But go to can you show us your other resume, your Word?
My real resume? This one?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we've picked the template, which is Gorge, we picked a Gorge template. Really all we have to do now is copy and paste and put the stuff. Well, we're going to kind of edit it down probably on the next episode and refine it in here. But essentially, go back to the other resume, PJ. Let's look at what Chad, the Canva. Let's put your name in it, Chad. PJ Gibbons.
Can't type. Hire me. I can't type.
Do you go by PJ though? Typically, you tell people
PJ's my preference always.
And don't put Philip on it.
It always felt like putting like my real first name.
No.
And then being like, call me PJ.
Ty goes by Ty Smith. I prefer, again, on the authenticity thing, be you, dude. I think PJ's like cool, like yo, teach.
And actually, is there a way to do it lowercase?
Ooh, you
Aw.
probably can just font.
It's weird. So my
Stefan
name
Metz.
is my name is Philip Joseph Metz, and I've been called PJ since before I was born. But I stylize it with a lowercase j, because that's what I prefer.
Oh,
And I don't know why, because it technically is initials, but I kind of treat it like a name. It's always been a preference of mine.
So Daniel, question
Hello.
for you. So PJ, can you zoom in a little bit so we can have okay, or can you are you able to zoom or get rid of the photo upload thing on the left?
Oh, there we go. That's a good idea.
Okay, so Daniel, before we let you go and off to your evening, your lovely evening, let's help PJ figure out what these different sections should be for him. Now,
Yeah, what's your address, Daniel?
yeah, what's your address? So it's good that we have contact up here. We'll wait to put that, obviously, because we don't want to dox PJ. Work experience is work experience. Education history is education history. So we'll keep that. Let's go over here. Personal profile. Let's write your little bio thing.
Oh my.
Help us workshop this, Daniel.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Oh wait, did it already say something?
It was a software engineer with hands-on experience in all levels of testing, including performance, functional integration, system, and user.
Oh, let's just keep that.
Literally none of that's true.
Is that Chad?
Oh.
Was that Chad?
That's Chad. This is literally software engineer. That was Chad's thing.
Oh.
I changed mine to future devrel.
Okay. So let's write this bio, Daniel. Okay. Wait. But keep that there for reference.
Okay, here I'm gonna.
Okay, so let's Mad Lib it.
I think we should. I think what we should do is, instead of saying devrel, because we have already established no one knows what devrel is. I think we should say educator, because aren't you an educator?
Educator?
Yeah.
Baby?
Yeah.
Educator is good. Educator. We love. Okay.
So I think you should say a dynamic educator. With how many years of experience? How many years have you taught in high school?
Yeah.
Not to reveal your age. Wow, that is a wow. That is impressive.
11 years. Experience. Let's see. Currently, let's do, instead of looking to, let's say currently seeking, because that's instead of being please, sir, may I have some more? It's I want this. Elwood's which one is right in front of you? Daniel gets it. So, speaking of Elwood's and Legally Blonde the musical, I think in the same way that we're being authentic and being PJ, think about that song from Legally Blonde the musical where she's tried this for a personal essay, and she comes in with the whole song and dance thing. That's what we're doing with these mugs.
That's right.
Exactly.
In the long run. Okay, dynamic educator.
Also, something I think is really important is that writing is a very underrated skill that devrels need to have. So I think you need to bring in your English. You need to add something about your background, especially in English, because I helped some startups with their setting up their developer relations organizations. And every time, they don't really think about this when they're hiring your devrel, but a lot of the things that they're doing is writing emails or writing blog posts, releases. If you want to do that, you need to be really good with your words, So you should really highlight that.
I love that too, Daniel, because I think, and let's just make a note somewhere on the resume, PJ maybe under one of the bullet points for software engineer, we can replace it. But let's definitely make sure that we highlight and touch on, because that's such a good point, Daniel. Documentation writing is a skill that PJ is going to be way more expertise in than most documentation sucks, y'all. PJ and I know this from having worked with different APIs. You can't just assume that people know how to do these things. So, for example, with Notion, this job application we looked at the other day, they're hiring their first devrel for their first open API. So they're going to need someone who can write as well. So documentation writing for sure.
Also, I would recommend deleting the get in contact section. No one really needs to know your address or phone number
The
'Cause
address, I'm not going to put my address.
Email and phone number only for me, I think.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, get rid of the address.
And my
my
website.
in your house.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
weird.
like I don't even put my phone number because I think it's a little bit invasive when recruiters contact my phone number. I find it like aggressive, overly aggressive.
I would say keep the phone number on there in a case. Well, I don't know. Let me ask y'all this, because maybe this is my old school brain from my theater days, but in my mind, I always want to have my email and phone number so if they need to contact me. But working in tech, it's like, oh no, I would be in like a database, because like in theater, everything's on paper. So I agree with you, Daniel. I think maybe unless you're okay with the phone number on there, don't put it on there now. But
I guess really the best way is going to be email. That's where like no one's going to call me and be like, I just had to call you.
Just put email there, because then it'll give you more space.
Yeah.
We can always add it back in.
Yeah, because I got like called by this random recruiting agency once, and it was so scary because I didn't know where they got my phone number, and I think it's really aggressive when recruiters do that, especially when you don't.
The other day.
That did happen with Brandon the other day. He was very unhappy about it.
Oh, great! And you got that's perfect. I think landing.
I don't know what just happened. Oh, guys, look, I'm coding accidentally.
You're a hacker now.
That's what it feels like when like you accidentally do inspect element, like the hacker music starts playing.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Love it. Okay, let's scroll. Okay, dynamic educator with 11 years of teaching experience, seeking to bring his energy, enthusiasm, and love for learning to the tech industry. How about love of learning and teaching? Or learning and, is that too basic of a word? Learning and like
I think you should just say learn teaching. Learning.
Yeah, or teaching's good, I think. Learning and teaching. Okay, this is looking
love for education. Yeah.
And areas of expertise we can put. Okay, well, here's a question for you, Daniel. Areas of expertise. Now, obviously, everybody who works in DevRel has different languages and things that they are particularly good at, and it's good to highlight those on your resume. But with something like DevRel, like my first job was at a Docker CI/CD company. Shout out to Puerto. And I didn't have any Docker on my resume. So I guess my question is, do you put your technical expertises on your resume, Daniel?
So I do, but I tailor make my resume to the particular company I'm doing. So what I do is during my job search, I have 4 different types of resumes based on what type of job I'm applying for in DevRel. So I have a DevOps resume, I have a front-end development resume, because if you want to put everything you've done in your entire life on your resume, no one's going to read that. That's too much. Yeah. So what I do is I figure out what is relevant to the role and just write about that, because no one else cares.
Never ever have your resume more than 1 page. Yeah. Shout out to my awful ex-boyfriend who had a 3-page theatrical resume, and it was embarrassing to know him and to have dated him. Do not ever have your resume longer than a page. It's arrogant, it's weird, it's a waste of your recruiter or casting director's time. And just like, don't have jobs from when you were in high school on there, idiot.
Oh yeah, high school was never. That is so embarrassing when I read that.
I don't know. High school's pretty important to me, guys.
High school is cool. Teach. Yo, teach. Okay, so area of expertise, video editing. Is that one that you just put on there? That's great.
Yeah, I did that. I have a ton of experience editing videos. My last 3 Christmas presents to my wife have been edited videos. When we went to, and it's not just for home, I had a job where my job was to create skits, film the skits, edit the skits in a single week, every week for a whole summer camp at the Jewish Community Center here in Maitland, Florida.
Yeah. I mean, it's put it on there, slap it on there. Someone had a great question. What if high school jobs are relevant? I think it's totally cool to put them on there. I was just joking. I just meant more with theater. Like, don't put your elementary school production of The Little Red Hen as like wolf on your theatrical resume. This motherfucker.
Put relevant jobs and relevant skills on your resume, but I'm not going to mention the fact that I worked at a Fazoli's. As much as I make spaghetti code now.
Ha! That's pretty good.
That would be a fun Easter egg, though. under the other skills to be like worked at a Pizzoli is so very good at spaghetti code. Like
That's
I feel
right.
like if
I'm
I was
good
a
at the
hiring
spaghetti.
manager and I read that, I would laugh and bring you in for an interview as I'm drinking out of your mug with my.
That's right. Thanks for the mug.
So a little bit like of like my 2 cents around like the high school jobs. I think it's also dependent on where you are in your career. If you're like a junior, if you're Chloe and you're putting high school jobs in your resume, like don't do that. But like if you're like
Chloe's old.
I didn't get my first job till freshman year of college, so I'm pretty sure when I was applying for my first DevRel job, and probably the reason why a lot of people are like, "Who does this girl think she is?" Almost used a different word there. People looked at my resume and they're like, Disney Store, Sephora, J. Crew, YMCA program leader, Galileo. I mean, let's take a peek at mine real quick. And actually, this is a good way to wrap up the thing because this shows us what we're going to be doing.
That's what we're trying to get to
on the next stream. So I won't share my resume because I haven't removed my contact info from it, and I don't want you creeps coming to find me. But this is my LinkedIn, as my dad likes to call it. LinkedIn, and I use my LinkedIn in a very specific way. I haven't updated in a while because I'm not job searching. I'm not leaving Microsoft anytime soon. But a couple things to note here: picture that looks like you and represents you. The cover photo is good. I like this picture. It was a cool thing that I did for a Grace Hopper Women in STEM thing. But a couple key things here. And here's a little pro tip, because I used to be a recruiter. LinkedIn is all about keywords. Use your About Me section to drop all the freaking words that you want people to find you by search term wise. This is not an updated bio. This has a lot of old stuff in it because, again, I'm not job searching. But do as I say, not as I do, because I definitely talk about, I think, the blockchain crypto thing, and that would explain why a lot of people message me about blockchain and crypto. So that's a story for another day. But a couple key things here. This featured section, great to put different, as devrel, videos, articles. So PJ, all the episodes of this show, we'll put them in here.
I am going to need to start putting them up. Do these go up on YouTube afterwards?
Yes. I will share you. I'll share the link with you, but it's really easy, y'all. Like literally it does most of the work for you. You like go in here, you add a link, and bada boom, it's in here.
I've got my Start Dev Change speech on my LinkedIn.
Yes.
I spoke at Start Dev Change back in October about confusion is a sweat of learning. It was fantastic.
It's such a good
say
talk.
So myself.
And that's
but yeah, my LinkedIn
to have like smiling at you when you go on there.
That's right. Who doesn't want to see a dude in a Nightmare Before Christmas Hawaiian shirt clapping?
Do you have that video on your personal site too?
I don't think I have a link to it on Metsing Around. No.
That could be another episode.
Let's bring up metsingaround.com. I have all my social media. I have the presentation available, but not the video. I need to add the video to my personal website.
We'll put it on the list. It'll be on our to-do list before we send out the... But I want to show you something, PJ, that maybe will make you feel a lot better, because I know this sounds insane, and this used to drive me crazy when people would say things like this to me, but you are more qualified than I was when I entered the industry. I say this because look at my LinkedIn now. Pretty impressive, if I do say for myself. I got the stuff of Microsoft on here. That's cute. I didn't know they updated that. I have this web management job that I did for a little bit for a local theater company. I started writing on Medium around the time I did DevRel. I should probably take this off here because I do writing all the time just for funsies. But looks pretty impressive, right? But this is what my LinkedIn looked like when recruiters were looking at my resume for my first DevRel job that I was applying for. From here down. So
actress.
So people were looking at my resume and going, who does this girl think she is, applying to insert Google, Airbnb, Asana, TikTok. TikTok didn't exist yet. But this is what I was dealing with. Like all of my cohort mates, had some sort of STEM background. I had to Google what STEM was. That is not a joke. I did not know what STEM was understand that great.
I only know because I'm a teacher and I know it's the thing that I don't do.
I was like, STEM, is this like a plant botanist school?
That's right.
But truly, like I felt I'm for lack of a better term, fucked. Like, look at my resume. I've got actress, office manager at a vape company that at the time was known for its cannabis products.
Yeah.
Nuco, which was cool. I was the executive assistant to John Battelle, which, you know, gave me a little bit of clout, maybe, but most people at startups were like, who they'd take one look at office manager and be like, no. I worked with Ben Parr, who sent a lovely tweet about me today. Shout out to Ben. Here's my recruiting job as an account director. But I was like, of course people are going to look at my resume and be like, no, absolutely not. Virtual assistant, office manager, cover girl. Oh, Yelp, interesting. Was she an engineer? No, she did sales. Like, so immediately put it in the trash. Like, who does this girl think she is? So what we need to kind of, what we'll do and what we'll kind of think about when on our next episode is we'll get the LinkedIn in order. And then what's great about LinkedIn, I call it LinkedIn, you guys, because my dad calls it LinkedIn and I just can't stop saying it. But my guess here is once we like fill out your LinkedIn, really it's just a copy paste job. Like, this is your kind of single source of truth. And Daniel will tell you, like, any engineer who's doing any sort of interview or interviewing you, I should say, is going to like creep your LinkedIn like 3 minutes before. Like,
oh yeah. It's going to be very obvious. You're going to be like, suddenly 25 people from this one company I'm interviewing for has viewed your profile.
Right.
It's like they're not subtle about it. They're really, they pass it around.
Caught you, Rebecca. Looking at my LinkedIn.
So personally, my advice is and this is to everyone who's applying to a job for anything, get your LinkedIn in order before your resume. Because honestly, in tech at least, sometimes it's a lot more visible and important than your actual resume. I can tell you, as someone who used to interview folks at my last company, we would get a printout of the resume, but none of us ever had time to look at it beforehand. Like, we would be looking in the minutes before, we'd be like on the computer, figuring it out. So get your shit together on LinkedIn.
I'll get my LinkedIn looking good. Right now, it's got a PR in front of my name.
Can I share
because, hold up.
Oh, yes. No, we won't share it.
Yeah.
Don't share it right now. It's got my current job on there, and it's against the rules.
But I would just say, like, we just overdo it on the LinkedIn, but make you look like the coolest guy in the world, which you are, and then we just like kind of do the resume is just like a snapshot of it.
It's like a here's the relevant stuff, right?
Yeah. So before we go today, first of all, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today. This was so helpful. Like, truly, I think first of all, we're gonna get merch.
Very excited.
Very excited for the merch. But I love all these points that we touched on today. Authenticity, for one. I love that I learned today, like, Daniel, that I didn't realize that you had an electrical engineering?
Electrical engineering, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really great, you know, like, obviously a much more translatable degree than ours, PJ. We got these weird degrees over here.
No, I would disagree. Sorry, I have to make a very big objection about that because theater is a lot more useful than electrical engineering and devrel. Theater, you have to like talk to people. You have to like make things about. You have to make Docker interesting. Okay, you have to make CI/CD interesting. Okay, that's fair, right? Theater is a lot better than I will say this right now to the entire void, like. Theater is the degree to get if you want to get it to devrel. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that, but like also.
Listen up, theater kids.
If you like money, maybe don't do a 4-year. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's right.
Do a 2-year theater degree and like a 4-year CS degree.
I mean, I agree and I disagree. No, I agree. I don't have any regrets about the degree that I have. I'm really glad that I have it, and it's very, very useful. I will say it was a huge barrier to getting into the industry. It's now like a nice feather in my cap. But I do suggest that everyone in their life, especially now, take a lighting design class because most people don't know how to do lights themselves on camera, especially during these Corona times. And I would also say like improv, so important in tech. Like,
I love improv.
improv, if your demo goes awry during a presentation, like improv, you gotta improv.
I had to do
Yeah.
it the other day, and I also help teach the band class because I'm the drumline instructor. So I'm one of my classes is band. So the band director is there, but he had to like go and deal with something. Like he was like on his computer, and I was like, well, and I jumped up and I was like, all right, here's what we need to do. We need to get ready, and we're gonna do this scale. And I went, all right, here we go, and I just started conducting.
Yeah.
You just have to jump in and start doing stuff. Or like as a teacher, when Zoom breaks, when
Right.
Google was down earlier this week. Like when stuff happens, you got to figure out what you're going to do next. You can't just stand there and do what Ashley Simpson did on SNL and do a little hoedown.
Add this as a note on the resume, PJ. Improvisational.
Quick
Under pressure.
Quick under pressure. Ability.
Really funny.
Very funny.
Yes, and.
What if the quote on the resume is just me being like, I hate doing this show with PJ. Jesus Christ. Please hire this man.
Hire him. The show's bad. I can't do it anymore.
Okay. It
Tags.
reminds me of, let me see if I can find it. And then we'll let you all go in a minute here. But this reminds me, and I think there could be, because okay, here's the thing, right? Like you're trying to get a job
That's
where
right.
your job is to get people's attention and like make them laugh and have them be entertained. So like, what if we took this approach with the job search? I mean, I love the mug idea, even though it's crazy. I think we should do that. But like, there could be a world in which we just go full in silliness and like try it out and be like, does this
Just
work?
see what happens.
Like, because if you're familiar with, I think it's Harris Whittles, who sadly passed away, amazing comedian, wrote this book called Humble Brag, which, I don't want to share my area code with you, so I'm going to put
The Art of False Modesty.
What?
Harris Whittles, the art, Humble Brag, the Art of False Modesty.
Yes. So I'm going to bring that up here.
Oh my God, he was a writer on Parks and Rec and Eastbound and Down.
Yes. He sadly passed away from a drug overdose, but he's very funny, and there's a lot of amazing podcasts with him on it. Or do you have it up? Can I share it? Do you mind if I share your screen?
I have the Amazon. Hold on. No, you don't show my Amazon. But it's based on the Humble Brag on Twitter.
Can you drop the link in the private chat real
To
quick?
his book? Yeah.
Because I want to show something specific that I think we could steal from for your resume. So I love this theme of the show where we're like, get rid of the show. We hate the show. Like, we do not want to do the show anymore. So what if, sorry, I'm getting my tabs all in order. Okay, what if let me zoom in here, finding the back of the book so I can show you the reviews on the back of the book. Here we go. So Harris Whittles, as PJ mentioned, amazing comedian of our time, wrote on Parks and Rec. Let me actually stop screen share and share a different screen. I know this is like...
Oh yeah, shoot. We are abandoning the chat. We should probably read the chat.
Oh,
Core Bob was like, pretty sure they stopped paying attention to the chat like 15 minutes ago.
No.
The conversation is too enthralling.
no.
I saw his comment about sabotaging each other's presentations so he can save the day. And also, Corbob, your fake mic merch, I wanted to make a joke, but we were busy. He said, if we're honest, probably wouldn't buy a fake mic as merch, but still I'd talk about it. And I really wanted to say, and I'd talk into it, but it didn't work.
Like this.
I love it.
Okay,
But
praise
what
for Humble Brag.
You know those quotes you got on your resume from your principal and stuff? So like Harris Whittles wrote on all of these awesome comedy shows, and it's like, great, Harris, this is a really good use of your time. Mindy Kaling. Harris Whittles is a hilarious performer and writer, and with this book, he has coined a new term for that thing that drives us crazy. But honestly, I don't know how I feel about this whole thing. It makes me nervous.
That's kind of funny.
Aziz Ansari says, I haven't read this, and I never intend to, but Harris is my friend, so I feel obligated to give him a blurb for his book. He's a funny writer. I'm sure it's not that bad. So like, what if we took this approach, not with your LinkedIn, because that would be silly, but there could be a world in which if there's like a company, so just like Daniel said with his resume, he like, tailors it to different ones.
Yeah.
maybe there's a company, maybe Twitch has devrels where you need like kind of a silly, humorous personality. We can do that. We could like put quotes from me and Daniel. Like Daniel's like, wait, this quote is for what?
I'm so down.
Or like Chloe Condon says, "Oh dear God, please hire this person. I'm
so sick of hanging
We are
out
so
with him.
sick of
I'm just kidding. I love this show. I don't want it.
I want him to be someone else's problem.
But
Make PJ your problem. Hire me. That's my slogan.
Yes.
Hire PJ. Make PJ your problem.
So Daniel, before we go, you're our first guest ever, and we appreciate you and we love you. I will turn this on to blinky lights just for a second here. Right. What parting words of wisdom? I mean, we're gonna have you back for the photo shoot show, so
that's true. Yeah. There's gonna be stuff that happens.
Until next time, Daniel, what is your like advice or words of wisdom to PJ as he embarks on this journey to end this freaking show?
I think that PJ, you're doing great. Like knowing Chloe is a great first step. For all those people who don't know, Chloe got me my new job. Like Chloe is the matchmaker of matchmakers. So knowing Chloe is like a good first step. Like, so you're already like halfway there. Oh yeah. Also make PJ your problem. I think all you have to do is just show people your charms, you know? You're already a really cool guy. So just make sure everyone else knows it and just say it really aggressively.
That's right.
This show is proof. Like literally, Daniel, a company reached out to me and I referred PJ, and now they want. I think I just sent them the video of the first episode. Like
she did. She replied to the email. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" She replied with the video of the first episode. I was like, "Hire this guy."
But here's an episode.
Said, let's connect.
We literally just talked about your company on the show and went through the job description. So,
also, PJ, do you want to know something? Notion rejected me. Notion auto rejected me. Okay, and I am very salty.
Well, I don't want to work for them anymore. Then.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that. You should never.
Oh wait, no, that was a joke. Notion.
You want to work for them,
but Notion and Airtable, you guys are in a bidding war now.
Yeah, yeah, it's a bidding war for PJ. Who can take over this problem?
Yeah.
So Daniel, Notion rejected you?
Yeah, and so did Airtable because I really like Notion and Airtable, so I applied while I had job offers from other companies. And I was like, I want to work for Airtable because I use it all the time. And they auto rejected me. They were like, sorry.
You know what?
It
happens. I mean, I applied. Oh my gosh. I applied so many places. I don't want to call them out on the show because
Notion and Airtable, I hope you're watching this.
I'll be like,
all of this.
I'll be sitting back being like, you don't know how it was back in 2016.
2016, it was a dangerous time.
But shout out to Lever though, because Lever made my life so easy with job applications. Anytime there was a Lever API integration on any job form, easy to submit. But I think the really next step for us, PJ, is we're gonna spruce up this LinkedIn. We're gonna get it all in order, and then the final cherry on top is gonna be this headshot, and that's gonna be when Daniel comes back, because we're making him agree to it on the show, right, Daniel?
Oh yeah, it's true. You know what you could do? You know what you could do is I actually have an automated system for applying to jobs that I used while I was doing a job search.
Okay.
Like, and I could like share my old system like live on stream. Like,
we love this. It can be a double header because we won't have to introduce you or talk as much about. I don't even remember what we talked about.
Yeah,
we spent the first 45 minutes. I forgot. Oh no, I drank all my eggnog.
Noggy doggy.
That's probably why I forgot I drank my eggnog, because I drank it all.
Expect an invite from us soon, Daniel.
That's right.
Book you for the
also
headshot.
PJ, like whatever company you want to work for, just let me know in the DMs so I can just shill for you. You know, be like,
yeah.
in their tweets, just be like at PJ. You might be interested in this. Just constantly mention you in the social media, so they eventually have to notice you.
And
it's like when Tobias was trying to get a job in Arrested Development, and he was walking around going about, that Funke project is a great guy.
I think that's really great advice too, as far as like your first job is the hardest. Like honestly, your first job is the hardest. Just getting your foot in the front door is the hardest part. But once, like literally what you're doing right now, PJ, I know it seems just like we're chilling and hanging out, but you're building your network right now. And these people that you talk to now, me, Daniel, are the people who are going to get you jobs. Like, no joke. Like every job that I've gotten after this, or no, after my first job at CodeFresh, that was all me. But Sentry, I was referred internally. Microsoft, I believe I had a referral as well. And that's really how you get your jobs after your first one is like, it's very rare that you're going to be cold applying, which is great for us because recruiting software hates us.
Right.
But the silver lining to all of this is, and I'll be very candid, I'm going to use choice words, applying to jobs as a junior engineer, like self-taught.
Well, it sucks. Oh, let me tell you, it sucks. Let me tell you.
I cried in a Whole Foods. I mean, my boyfriend will tell you, I ran on coffee and tears during my whole time during Hack, right? Like, this is hard. And like, know that what you're doing is hard. But the second time you have to do this, oh my God, you're just going to be like, hey, Brandon, like you're working at, Uber flying
what's
cars
going on
now. Like, can you hit me up with a job? No, I'm just.
No, people will reach out to you.
Yeah, that's I'd love to get to that point where people reach out to me. All of y'all are currently watching very likely on Chloe's stream. If you want to follow me on Twitch, Brandon Minnick and I of the Xamarin fame, we build. He helps me build my website on Sundays on my channel. Thursdays I'm here with Chloe. I'm gonna actually be trying to stream a lot during Christmas break because, like I said, tomorrow's my last day teaching until January, and I'm gonna try and get on. And, dude, honestly, I mean, help me learn some JavaScript. I have to finish my JavaScript course
Let's do a
because I finished my
Shania
C# course. We need we're gonna do a Shania stream.
Stay tuned for
Monday.
Shania stream. We'll be streaming and dreaming. Daniel,
that's right.
Do you have anything to plug? Where can people find you? Look out
so
for?
I'm starting a new stream next week. I'm gonna be streaming every day next week. And we're going to be building some sites. We're building a website with Ruby and JavaScript with my friend Danny that was in the stream earlier. Yes. And we're going to be also exploring the animal ecosystem. What do you call that? What do you call the thing where it's like the circle of life?
Animal kingdom?
The animal. It's like the animal kingdom, but it's
like Lion King?
Life.
Yeah, the circle of life, whatever. We're going to be exploring the circle of life on
the
Minecraft.
Food chain?
Yeah, the food chain. Yes.
Food chain.
Hire me. I know what you're talking about when you don't know what you're talking about. Make me your problem.
Wait, what do you mean you're going over the food chain? I want to understand this.
Oh, Minecraft.
The Minecraft food chain.
Oh,
yeah.
The Minecraft food chain. Okay, I was like,
and we're
a website for the food chain, like for like gotmilk.org or something? Or, okay, this makes more sense.
It's learning about where you fit in the food chain.
Okay.
No, we're going to be building a community where there's going to be a sustainable number of animals that sustains itself. And in Minecraft. So it's going to be
Okay.
So Minecraft, I really suck at it, and so does my friend Danny.
A
so
Microsoft
it's going to be
That's right.
A Microsoft product, yeah. I totally work for Microsoft. I'm kidding. I don't work for Microsoft. Don't sue me, Microsoft. I do not work for you.
33% of the people here work for Microsoft.
That's true.
That is true.
I thought you meant in the chat. And I was like, oh.
Nah.
That is
cool. And when is that? That's all every day next week?
That's every day?
Yeah.
What
so
time?
We're going to start streaming at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time, because I'll be in Georgia next week. I'm visiting my brother in Georgia.
How long is
so
the
you're
stream?
like, it's going to be like 2 to 3 hours, but we haven't decided yet. It'll be, however, until we get burned out or like have to go eat.
Yeah.
Subscribe now.
I'm going to tune in. I got nothing going on.
What's your handle on Twitch, Daniel? We'll put it in the chat.
It's Teaching Daniel. So basically the premise is that I'm a noob at a lot of things. I'm going to invite really smart people like Chloe to teach me how to do shit.
Okay, good luck. Okay, with me. But
oh, you're going to teach me like improv,
I'll just warn you now,
singing.
I don't know how to use a computer.
Yes, the theme of our shows we have down here. Actually, yes, would love to. I have a really fun, I won't give too many spoilers, but I'm working on a fun little Twilio project that involves masks and Twilio.
Did you just say masks?
Yes.
Masks.
Masks.
Can I take it off?
Masks.
Daniel, stop the lip sync. Stop the lip sync. Daniel, please remove your mask.
I'd like to keep it on, please.
All
Okay.
right. Well, let's let PJ go, and Daniel, we'll let you go, and we'll let myself go here. But this is a very fun stream. We hope you enjoyed it, everybody. And next week,
Are we Korean now?
guest TBD, but we have some
That's
exciting
right.
people. We have some. I tried to do this in a picture, so I usually peace sign because I like to show off my tattoo. And I tried to do this in a picture today, but I felt like it looks like I'm going like this. Like I'm. Like,
Good
so,
sauce.
is it this way or is it this way? It's this way.
You got to do it a little bit more. Like you got to cross. Yeah, like that. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can't do this because it looks like you're holding up an Advil. This.
Yeah. Do you need Advil? Do you have back pain? That's how I feel like I look when I'm doing it. Because with this, it's like, and then with this, I'm like, you okay? You need
There is in Korea when I was living there. Last story. All the cell phone stores have like full size like stick-ons of like girls. They are all super sad. Like and I took pictures of all these, like it was like little like ads of like a girl, like she's wearing like a skirt and a sweater, and it's supposed to make you go into like the Korean like cell phone store. But they always look like terribly sad, just depressed.
They need more serotonin.
Like there's one of like a girl and she's like this. And I was like, "Oh, Becky, what's wrong?" And she was like, "You gotta buy a cell phone." And I was like, "I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for this again, Becky."
Maybe like just food for thought for the photo shoot. Maybe. Very.
They'll think I'm offering them ecstasy, and I'm not. It's a Korea thing. All right, y'all. I think we're good.
Practice your blue steel, practice all your poses, and we'll see y'all next week. Super excited. And hopefully
thank you all for tuning in.
Next week.
But yeah, maybe it'll be canceled because I'll have a job. Gosh.
Okay.
This should be the clip we send them. Like just us for like, oh.
Please hire this man.
I hate this job.
Do this anymore. Okay.
Stupid job.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.